Let's say a lot of you are making good money. What are you doing with it? Because if you don't learn how to invest it intelligently, if you don't get financial literacy, you could work 20 years and end up literally with a gold watch, a nice little pension, and some good recurring revenue to make sure you're not freaking in an old folks home. But if you learn how to invest it and you understand how to put it here and let it come back with friends and then put it there and let it come back with friends and constantly take all of your discretionary income and put it in interest-bearing accounts, cash flow, property, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then 20 years later, holy shit, man, you got serious coin coming in. And it was literally just from the little tiny things that you changed. It's the little tiny things that you did on a day-to-day basis that other people don't. There aren't major decisions in life. They're all little decisions every day that are so insignificant, people don't realize they're making them. It's like pretend we're in the Matrix and I just unplugged your ass. Every day there's these little things floating down, they're choices. And if you just learn how to make those well, life turns out fantastic. But if your choice maker's broke or you don't know how to read the information, you might accidentally end up all right. You're not going to intentionally end up all right. You're not going to be above the crowd. Because guys, you ever heard the rat race? There's people, could be people on this call that owe so much on credit cards, they can make the minimum payment because that's all they have to pay and stay in debt for 20 years. How are you supposed to invest intelligently if your money's going to pay the minimum payment on a bunch of credit card debt and all it pays off is the monthly interest? Now you're in a hole. You're in the rat race. You got a job just over broke. So in the sales and closing game, which we're all in, folks, and this is Close Your School Live, so obviously you guys have an interest in getting better in sales and closing, but what most people don't realize, they're in closing. There's people that aren't on this call. They don't like salespeople. They're not in sales. Oh, they could never be in sales. Oh, they just could never even imagine being in sales. Folks, we're all in sales, man. We're all in sales every day, all day. You're selling your girl, you're selling your husband, you're selling your kids, you're selling your boss, you're selling yourself. So now that we know we're in sales, would it make sense not to get good at it? Just like if you knew you were going to have to get in an MMA cage every day for the next 5 years, would it make sense to go to the gym, work out, and try and figure out what to do? Well, that's what sales is. It is just like MMA. It is just like fighting. And the more you sweat in practice, the less you bleed in combat. So you got to ask yourself, you sweating in practice? Are you even practicing? Are you taking into consideration that this is a freaking skill, a craft that needs to be developed and honed? Are you sharpening your axe? Are you certain? Are you confident? Do you believe? Or maybe you're thinking, well, now after listening to you, I'm not real confident in the shit I'm selling. Good. Then it sunk in. Either get confident in the shit you're selling or sell something else. Don't think I'm going to help you turn into a badass salesman to something you don't believe in, although I could. That ain't how you build it. How you build it is you start from yourself first. You sell yourself on yourself. Okay, you get that self-image, that self-worth, that certainty. And by the way, momentum. You don't have to say, hey, overnight I'm going to be so certain it's crazy. You start reading every day about your product or service. You start studying the industry that you're in. You start becoming the expert where you're having intelligent conversations about the industry that you're in. The product or service, you're probably one of the go-to people at work that everybody goes to. Why? Well, because, dude, you know your shit. And now you start walking around a little bit and it's like, hey man, go see Mo on that. Oh dude, go find Mo. He'll help you out. Dude, go find Mo. Where's Mo? Mo can handle this. You'll start to be the go-to person. And then your attitude changes. And then you start to be number one in the rankings. And or you start to outperform yourself. Why? Well, because the image of yourself increased. Why? Because you did little tiny shit every day consistently and you built up value and belief in yourself. And then you created a new self-image. If you guys want homework, I can't force you to buy it, but if I were you, I would go invest in Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, and I would read it about 10 different times. That's it right there. He's holding it up. Look on your screen. That's the book. I do Audible, but essentialism, that's keeping organized, doing what's important. That gets you more productive all the time too. What's that? That's old Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends, Influence People. Those, if you guys just go mastered those books, let's say you came on Close Your School Live every week, you put it on mute, you didn't listen to shit we were saying, and you just go studied those 3 books and implemented what you learned over 6 months, and then make sure you tell everyone it was Close Your School Live, dude, everyone and their dog would sign up. And it'd be like, I didn't even listen to it. All I listened to him say was, get these 3 books down. Because that's all it is. And boom, now you're up here. Now you'll start to realize, well, shit, maybe I better listen to Close Your School Live. Maybe I better Hear what else he's saying. Holy shit, that worked big time. Right, all this stuff works big time. Problem is a lot of people start to get discouraged because it doesn't happen instantly. There has to be a little consistency. You have to have a little pain and suffering. There has to be some discomfort. You go to the gym, lift a light weight one time, do that 1,000 times, dude. You're not going to get any freaking wear. But if you go in there and lift heavy weight and or weight multiple times where it's to failure, and you eat better to rebuild that fiber, next thing you know, everyone's like, holy shit, dude, look at you. Look at your arm. You working out? Holy crap, dude. You're kicking ass. You're growing. That's badass. What'd you do? Repetition. That was key. You had to lift the weight the right way, by the way. Repetition, right? Accountability, discipline, practice, over and over and over and over and over and over again. And now all of a sudden you're looking good, you're feeling good, you're making more money than you ever have, you believe in yourself more than you ever have, you're as certain as a son of a bitch, even if it meant you quit whatever you're doing now and started doing something else. And 3 months later, dude, you're making 3 to 5 times more money than you are today. And really, that's what Closer School Live is about, man. How do we make better humans, not just better closers?